opening up with Marshall. Our guys started our prep last week. Coaches kind of started on Thursday. Players kind of started on Friday. So we've gotten 2 practices in towards that goal of playing these guys. I'm excited for a home opener. We get sometimes the neutral site, sometimes on the road, but this home opener, I know I'm excited. I'm excited about this weather for our fans. Looks like it's going to be a great weather day in terms of not catching some of the August, September heat we get sometimes. A lot of respect for this head coach and his program. When I look at the similarities between, he's been a defensive coordinator for a long time, a very successful one, Coach Tony Gibson. He's also coming kind of home to West Virginia, and he's got a staff that's very passionate about Marshall. When someone is passionate about the place they coach, they're going to do a tremendous job, and his staff reflects that. Marshall's got a tremendous history of a lot of good football players, a lot of good teams. To look and see what they did last year in a really extremely tough Sun Belt conference, it kind of speaks for itself. So our guys are excited to go play. We always say the game's about us, and it'll always be about how we play, and we got to go play our best. So that's the next step for us.
Now raise your hand, we'll bring a microphone around to you.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned you guys have started prep for Marshall. With a brand new head football coach, and you look at the roster like everybody else, but it's even more turnover. It's a brand new football team. What are you preparing for? How do you go about preparing your football team for a team we don't know much about?
You start with yourself, right? You prepare yourself by how you run to the ball, how you strike people, how you move people, how you run the ball, throw the ball, don't turn it over. A lot of sloppiness in first games, penalties. So it starts with that. So you're asking about the opponent. The opponent is us, and it's going to be us every week this year. It is important that we know what they do, and sometimes that's less information than others. They've got an interesting staff makeup of guys from all over. They got an interesting roster makeup of guys from all over, some of which they couldn't control because they had a lot of guys leave after the head coach left. So, we've got individuals from all over. I don't know that I've ever seen a roster that when we write on the depth chart transfer, it's 3 deep transfer, 4 deep transfer, 3 deep transfer, all these spots. A lot of transfers. But that's more and more evident all over. Probably first games all over the country this weekend will be a lot of guys figuring out, like, well, who's in that spot? Who's in that spot? Nobody has a clue who's in those spots. The less teams are in the spotlight, the less you'll know. But again, it'll be probably more of an adjustment from the kickoff to the first quarter than most games, but it'll also be about us.
We'll have a chance to talk to Jordan Hall here in a little bit. What did you learn about him last year as he fought through those injuries, and just what has he done in the lead up to this season?
Yeah, his resilience, he pops out at me. When we talk about our DNA traits, one of them is always that. He embodies that. It was this time last year that we found out he had a tibia basically fracture and had to put a rod in, and then right after we got a rod put in his lower leg, he found out he had to have one in the other leg. So it really set him back, and it wasn't just the injury that set him back. It was the combination of both those happening at one time. You can usually get by with one leg maybe not being 100%, but when you're dealing with both legs, he deals with a lot of pressure and force. When you play that position, you're taking on 2 guys, 25% of your snaps. So there's a lot of pressure on those double teams. And Jordan's just number one, he's bright. Number 2, he cares. He's passionate, and he plays really hard.
Coach, you mentioned the depth chart. I know we don't have one for our purposes. How fluid is that, and how much competition is there still within the team?
I was telling guys just the other day, there's 3 more games before the game. One today, one tomorrow, and one the next day. And those opportunities are really valuable in terms of where guys rep, where guys will play. We've got position battles they don't go on till the game, they go on through the whole year, because I value Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, sometimes Thursday of practice weeks, probably more than some game reps. So we've got a lot of good battles going on, and we have a saying around our place: if you're going to play winning football, we want to play you. So we're looking to have as many guys as possible above that winning threshold line, and that's the goal, to play all those guys.
Kirby, you mentioned Jordan, but how would you kind of assess the defensive line going into the first game with so many new faces, guys taking on bigger roles, and what can you learn about that group from actually playing in a game as opposed to a practice or a scrimmage?
I don't think you necessarily learn more in a game with those guys. I get to see them in action. It's their action in a practice is very similar to their action in a game, where that might be different for a receiver or a defensive back who has to tackle or not. These guys, they're going to war every day. So striking blocks, getting off blocks, running the ball. I mean, who you are is on your tape. That's your resume. It speaks for itself. We show our guys every day in the team meeting. This is who you are, because this is what you put on tape, especially at the defensive line and offensive line position. So I don't expect it to go out in the game and change all of a sudden. Like the guys with good characteristics, good habits in practice, it'll show up that way in the game. So what I see today will be similar to what I get an opportunity to see Saturday. We'll measure both those. We'll keep advancing and trying to get more guys to play winning football.
Kirby, to your left, since this team gathered for the first time, however many months ago that was, what position group has come the farthest?
I can't pick one. I mean, you try to get me to single somebody out and say, well, this group's just been unbelievable. They've all gotten better. And everybody needs to improve still. I can't single one group out because there's too many days involved in that to single one group. So this group has moved the furthest. I can't pinpoint. There's individuals that have gotten better, and there's individuals that still need to get better. But as a whole, I'm pleased with where our group is.
Kirby, Trevor Etienne and Nate carried the load last year in terms of carries with Trevor not here anymore. After Nate, what have you seen with the running backs?
Great group, man. Group by committee. They've worked really hard. They're going to continue to work. They all have different traits: size, speed, protection, catch the ball out of the backfield. I mean, you're looking for a complete back that can do them all. We've got a good group that's really been competitive, and I look forward to seeing all those guys go out and play.
Hey Kirby, I know about a week ago you said Brett Thorson is kicking, but you're still not 100% if he's going to be in the game with Marshall. Any updates on him?
Can be in the game with. Oh, I thought you were. I'm sorry. When you said Marshall, I was trying to figure out who Marshall. You're talking about who we're playing. I thought you were talking about snapper or holder or kicker.
No.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
No, he has continued to kick, and I don't know that he's going to be kicking in this game. That hasn't been decided yet. He has punted more reps each day, and he's gone up. But in terms of what I call live kicking, which we don't really ever kick live, meaning we don't hit our kickers, but he has not done a lot of live kicking. So it'll be one of those times, one of the things we decide by the end of the week.
When we met with Mike and Glenn, they reiterated the importance of stopping the run, running the ball as improvements from last season. Now that we've gotten through fall camp, how do you feel about, or what is your confidence level when it comes to improving in those two areas? And this might be redundant from previous years, but what metrics do you use to determine whether those two areas are successful?
Yeah, I measure how we play in games of, throughout the year, but the SEC schedule, because there's a consistency in the SEC schedule. Our out-of-conference schedule changes every year. Who we play when, where do we play them? Was it on the road, crowd noise? Was it neutral site? All those things. So the most consistent thing on our schedule is our SEC schedule, and we try to measure at the end of the year based on that. There's metrics for every game, right? Yards per carry is a good metric. Sometimes yards per carry can be skewed. If it's 3rd and 15 and you run for 9, is that success? Probably not, because you didn't get a first down. So for us, it'll vary based on the way we measure it, but it is important. And to the level of confidence, I think there's no complete confidence on where your run game and your run stopping is until you play somebody else. Because each and every day we go out the field, somebody wins and loses a play. So there's confidence gained, confidence lost when you're against each other.